But I want to talk to you about one of my favorites, and I'm probably biased to it because I'm a football guy. Has anybody seen the movie Rudy in here? Not enough hands have gone, because it's a great movie. And maybe I like it because Rudy reminds me of myself. To quote the movie, they say that he's 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing, and has hardly any athletic ability. Reminds me of me in my playing days a little bit. But Rudy has a dream, and his dream is to play football for Notre Dame. He wants to play football for the Fighting Irish. That's his dream. Now, Notre Dame back then is kind of like Alabama football today. They won national championship after national championship, and Notre Dame's still a premier football program, but back then they were it. And Rudy didn't have the grades to get in Notre Dame. He definitely didn't have the stature or athletic ability to get into Notre Dame, but that was his dream. It was an unrealistic dream, like most dreams are, but he wanted to play for Notre Dame. He wanted to wear that gold helmet and run out onto that field and be a Fighting Irish. The problem is, it wasn't possible with his athletic ability, his grades, and his parents told him it was impossible. His friends told him it was impossible. His girlfriend said it was impossible, and he never really believed it, though. And I'll fast forward a little bit to make a long story short, and I'm not going to, there's some spoilers ahead. I want you guys to see it if you haven't, but I won't tell you the very end. But Rudy applies to get into Notre Dame, gets rejected, and applies again, and eventually he gets into Notre Dame. And he tries out for the football team, and he makes it as a practice squad player, a walk-on. And the problem is, his dream was, remember, to run onto the field and wear the uniform. And practice players, they practiced with the team, but they didn't play on Saturdays. So he didn't go to away games, and he didn't dress out for home games. He watched the game in the stands just like the other students. And so his friends and family didn't even believe that he was on the team, even though he practiced with them every single day. And so by the time he got to his senior year, going into the senior year, he talked to the head coach at the time, and he said, "Coach, just can I suit up for one game? That's all I'm asking." And the coach agrees to it. He said, "Hey, your senior year, we'll find a game and you can suit up for it." And the problem is that coach unexpectedly resigned shortly after that. And a new coach came in that couldn't care less about that promise. And so Rudy still practices and gives great effort, and his teammates love him, and the coaches that have been there love him. The new coach doesn't really know Rudy and doesn't really care about that promise. So he gets to the very last home game to see the dress list, and he sees that his name's not on it. And so there's no chance that he could play in that game, or dress out at least. And so he quits. He quits, which is not in his character. It's not who he is. He just reached that point where it didn't look like he was gonna make it. And then some teammates stepped up for him. An All-American, a team captain, walked into the coach's office. Coach Devine was his name, and he laid his jersey on coach's desk, and he said, "I want Rudy to dress in my place." And the coach looked at him, he said, "Roland, you're an All-American and our team captain. I suggest you act like it." And he respectfully looked at the coach and said, "I believe I am." And another team captain walked in and said, "I want Rudy to dress in my place." Then another teammate, "I want Rudy to dress in my place." And by the end of it, there's a stack of jerseys on the coach's desk, and the coach had no choice but to let Rudy dress out. And so for that last home game, he got to dress out, and his dad was there, and his brothers were there, and they couldn't believe it that their son was wearing the gold helmet of Notre Dame and the jersey, and he was part of the team. And none of that would have happened if it wasn't for the kindness and selflessness of his teammates. They saw a teammate in need, and they helped him out. And I set that up for my own Rudy story. I have a similar story. I moved from California in 7th grade to Oklahoma, and I grew up playing baseball. I love sports. I love the sport of football. I just didn't play it. You know, I played baseball. I maybe played at recess and watched football on TV, and I liked it, but I didn't play it. But when I got to Oklahoma, Oklahoma, football's king in Oklahoma. And all my friends were playing football, and I liked football, and I liked sports, so I decided in 8th grade I was going to play football. And I was like a fish out of water. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know the plays. I didn't know how to line up. And then, you know, and some of you guys that are junior high football guys here know when you first get that stack of like your pads and the pants, and you have to string the belt through the, I was a mess. I had pads in the wrong spot, and so I definitely wasn't going to be a starter. I didn't know how to line up, and at my school, I went to a big school, and by the time we got to our first game, I was lost. We had 3 teams. We had a red team, a white team, and a silver team. And those are just nice ways for the coaches to say we have an A team, a B team, and a C team. You know, I'm a coach, I know those tricks. You know, we don't want anybody to feel bad about themselves, but I was on the silver team, which was the C team. I mean, let's just call it what it is. And to make matters worse, I not only was on the C team, in the first quarter of our first game, I didn't start on the C team. That quarter ended, I didn't get in the game. Second quarter ends, I didn't get in the game. This is my first football game ever. Third quarter ends, and I'm still not in the game. So I can't even start or play on the C team. So I'd be like D team, E team level. Is that a thing? I don't know. And so it gets to the fourth quarter, and I've done this as a coach too, where you're at maybe a freshman game or a JV game, and you want to make sure everybody plays, and you say, hey, who hasn't got in yet? And I kind of come up to coach with my head down, and I haven't played yet. I mean, there's only a couple minutes left in this game. And coach says, what position do you play? I mean, he doesn't even know my name. That's how much of an impression I've made, or what position I play. So I said, I play wide receiver. And he goes, all right, get in there. And so it's the game's winding down. We're down by 6 points. And he's just trying to get me on the field. And then he yanks me back off the field and said, son, you can't go in the game with that jersey on. And what had happened was, this is how important we were, coach just threw these, probably from the 1970s, these jerseys on the locker room floor, said, hey, grab one as you load the bus. So I didn't even have a number or anything. So I just grabbed the first jersey I saw, and it was like number 68. And you football guys know that 68 is not an eligible number for a wide receiver. It's a lineman number. So I wasn't eligible. I couldn't go out there. And so, you know, I just kind of put my head down, and I thought that was it. And one of my teammates pulled me aside and said, hey, you're going in. And he took off his jersey, I believe it was number 10, and he put it over me, and I went back to coach. And I said, coach, I can go in now. And he says, all right, get in there. So the time's ticking down. We're down by 6. And I go in there. I don't know the play. I know it's a pass play. So I just take off as fast as I can downfield. And in my memory, it's like a 60-yard bomb that the quarterback threw. But remember, this is like the D team, so it was probably like 20 yards, right? So I run, and I'm running like straight down the field, and the ball's thrown as far as he can throw it to the middle of the field, and I break off kind of like a post, and I run, and the ball drops right into my arms. And I take off towards the end zone, and I want so badly to tell you I scored the game-winning touchdown. But I got tripped up by somebody chasing me. They barely got my ankle, but I set us up for what could be the game-winning touchdown. And coach promptly took me out and put the starters back in to see if they could win the game. And you know, afterwards, he put his arm around me, and he said, Hayes, that was a heck of a play you made. You gave us a chance to win. And I'm sorry I pulled you out. I'm going to give you a better look at practice this week. And from that point on, after that one play, I went from not even starting or playing on the C team to playing with the A team the rest of the year, just because of that one play. And I can't help but be thankful for my teammate, Michael Goen, who gave me his jersey in that moment. And I'm sure Rudy, which is a true story, by the way, couldn't be more thankful to Roland Steele, the teammate that gave him his jersey in his moment of need. And I look back into that just one small moment. Would I be where I'm at today if it wasn't for the kindness and selflessness of that teammate? You know, if I couldn't even start on the C team, I couldn't even play at all in a C team game, would I have continued to play football? Probably not. I probably would have saw the writing on the wall that football wasn't for me. And instead, I got to play on the A team the rest of the year. I went on to play in college, or first of all, I played in high school and had such a great experience that I knew I wanted to go to college and be a teacher and a coach. I went on to SPU to play football there, where I met my wife there. Who knows if I would have ever met her or even went to that university if it wasn't for football. We have 3 kids today, and I look at the trajectory of my life because of that one moment, because of that one kind act of a teammate, and I wonder, would I be here as the head football coach of the Branson Pirates? And I can't help but think probably not. I probably would have quit on football after I couldn't even start in a D team game, right? And so I say all that to encourage you to look for those moments where you could be a helping hand to somebody that needs it. You know, Rudy's teammates saw a moment, an opportunity, and they acted on it, and it changed his life. There's a movie about him now. You know, Michael Goen, my teammate, just saw an opportunity to help me out and give me an opportunity to play, and it changed my life. And those opportunities are all around you. You just got to look for them. those opportunities to help somebody, to change their life for better, are all around you. And so I just want to finish up by saying, look for those opportunities and act on those opportunities.